We've got double HEs for FURIA. Let's see how they do it. Lots of options on Inferno for nade damage, right? You could be looking to deny a bomb plant. You could be playing for retake. Or just going for early fights, pushing down mid. Something FURIA love to do on this map. Not going to call it in the pistol, though. Fury jumps, he spots. And GODSENT will take ult. But they are in no hurry. Like you said, lots of grouping. We see a really nicely cool T-side from Taco on this map. So, yeah, FURIA are not going to get away with some of the... craziness that they
more rambunctious plays.
Dude, that was the word I was thinking of.
Yeah.
But I couldn't pronounce it, and so I just went crazy.
I got
it's
you,
actually
man.
super scary that you just use that word.
Yeah, I knew what word you were thinking of.
That's actually terrifying.
Why? I don't know. We spent
not a word we ever use.
waking moment
I've never used that word on a broadcast.
Well, here's the A smokes going over.
An absolute rumbuncheling out of the apartments, and Barton gone. They walk the long smoke. They know that Util, that Exec, has drawn FURIA into the bomb site. The long play is committed on the wrong side of Moto. Even though Drop is aware of this possibility, it's a nice call out of GODSENT. How the longer it goes quiet, the more FURIA question.
Yeah, Drop. This is... Ooh, now he knows. And he's going to drop a smoke of his own. Now, they will come through it, right? They ain't respecting that. Drop can't hang around to fight it, not with the flashes being peppered through.
Watch your back.
As they're hunting him down, you're hoping that Art could have held this all together. Instead, he gets rushed down and is only good for one. With Lato holding the banana wrap, there's more where that came from. Oh, it's all three for Lato. He lines them up, he knocks them down, and that's a GODSENT pistol round.
Man, they're so exciting. They really are reinvigorating these guys on the GODSENT side. Their T sides on all maps are really something quite special, something new. And even though FURIA knew what was going on, Art's making that call like, yeah, don't worry, bro, I've got your back. I'm watching Coffin. Then they jump up and swing wide, and he hasn't got the right angle. Bit awkward. Then you whiff your shots. Then Lato, who was lurking banana the entire round, not needed to split B, is there already to cut off rotates. FURIA thinking, man, they're all coming ruins. No, Lato's been hiding here all round long. Oh man, you just feel a bit for Drop there, who gets kind of let down by his leader. Sometimes you got to trust him though. Lato, nice nades up top B to drop, and Art drops his smoke. Nova, oh, fully blind, and he still gets it done. Team flash twice. Keserato blinds himself. The Util's not helped anyone here. But FURIA is still in a 4-on-4, and luckily enough, the guns are given to GODSENT. The rifles are still in their hands.
I went through, realized it was just a Mac-10, and went back to the Nova. I like that.
Like this.
But it is the A play, and with Vinny already dead, Yuri's got to come up huge over at the cart. Ooh, Flash is going over. They drop into the pit, and he gets struck from two sides at the same time. Art's Nova, it's already made some of this investment back. One more kill, he'd be laughing all the way to the bank. Nova's got some range on it too.
Ooh, yeah,
not that range.
Back to the range. Practice your aim as Taco looks to warm up himself. There's one, and oh, he's got to play very close here. He can't go new box, surely. This is audacious. They're coming. Although maybe GODSENT just respect and go, fine, have the Nova. I don't want to lose a rifle when I know I have to walk close to kill you. The time might just keep Art alive, providing he doesn't re-peek here. Leave him alone. Oh, the double peek. Yeah, that's nice out of GODSENT. Either side. And so, yeah, no guns saved. But that's fine. GODSENT go 2-0 up. Now an eco.
Oh, yeah. That kind of dawning realization. It's not Mirage anymore. And Taco can have his way with you in the calls. Now, Art's brought up another Nova. This is one of the benefits. You know, you get one kill with it, and you're kind of all right to lean into it again. After the triple nade stack on Sandbags last time, I'm surprised that Art's even hanging around looking to fight this.
They heard that jump. Another nade, perhaps. Molly at the corner. Art's just gotten out in time. Drop has a flash. This could be naughty. This could be something for FURIA. He's waiting, though. Doesn't want to expose. Art decides he'll let them in for now. You know GODSENT are still waiting on their default, in no hurry. First smoke trying to force util out of FURIA. You never know when's the commit on this map. It's a real guessing game. Art re-aggroes, but he fires too soon. Lato swings wide. The flash was good, but contact before it had even left the hand of Drop, and even with 2 CTs here, you're not armed for the job. GODSENT, they should not be taking many more casualties, if any, at all. Oh, through the smoke. Phelps is wrapped long A, though, so with the bomb in mid. Oh, he wasn't going to knife him. That'd be too far. Guy and apps to clear out. Otherwise, should be fine. Yeah, just shooting blanks there. Don't worry about it. Forgot to load in the real mag. And now 3-0. Now we begin. The game has started, Harry, for FURIA.
Yeah, this is where you're hoping, we can get a little more interest. They can kick it up a notch here because, last thing you want is for GODSENT to come off the back of a bit of a beating on Mirage and then go back to dishing them out on their map pick of Inferno. However, in the big picture of this series, it would be pretty exciting to have an early GODSENT resurgence. Oh, Phelps, he's gone past the guy. Runs the banana smoke. Phelps has already passed him. And so you get that double entry at B. With Phelps being so deep, you just say, boys, let's go in. Let's follow through with the B play, and already FURIA should be looking to save. Barton might try and stop that, however.
And not even planting. Finally, it comes in. Already spreading out for kills. Barton, yes, waiting patiently. And Vinny clears the corner. Barton's sleeping at the wheel. Downgrade again. We saw that from Art and Mirage, but Vinny gets his gun back. And FURIA, they need these weapons if they want any hope in the follow-up round. This is not a map where you often see 1 or 2 gun buys get away with a round, especially not against this methodical T-side of GODSENT. But yeah, in this one, you get the quick entries, you always commit. Take that space while you got it. Leave FURIA back on their laurels in the A site. And you've got a bit of money to hunt here. Would not be a bad idea. Vinny, cleared out. Only a dink to Phelps. Won't do enough. And even taking 1 gun there is harrowing to FURIA. It denies this buy. You could, FURIA might even still go for it, right? You can get 4 rifles. They're a team that love to invest on low economy rounds, but even so, it's not what you wanted.
Yeah, these banana takes out of GODSENT have just been really, really nice to open up this game. It gets very interesting with Phelps hitting that timing through the smoke. And FURIA showing this willingness to fight for banana. And thus far, it's only really hurt them. Finally, they're in a spot where they could hold on to this, right? They're going to force some respect out of GODSENT after bringing Lato low with utility. Oh, but has another timing been hit here? Taco, no, he's been spotted. And even though, the kill doesn't come in, just having the info that someone was about to wrap long is huge for FURIA.
Yeah. It's the scary B takes, right? Like you said, these banana takes for GODSENT. They pulled K-Serato out long, put him in spawn. Thank goodness Vinny got that info. K-Serato's moved back in for the kill. They thought it was so clear. They made their way all the way around Arch, but now with that re-aggression, FURIA are a man up. GODSENT still look to double down into this site. They've got nothing else. 1 flash, 1 smoke over the top. Ooh, Dumao wins his fight at long, and now it's just this 2-man setup here for FURIA. Already starting to doubt their B hold. Up might want to rotate. Smoke hits a player. Yuri might have to change position himself. Re-smokes it. B is empty right now. GODSENT are creeping and crawling their way in. Phelps flying high off the balcony. Got to clear that backside player hiding in the cubby. Vinny's dropped 1. That's the bomb gone as well. Yuri doubles up from the pit. Massive hold from him. And Vinny's changed position. They're clearing dead angles. Dumao in a 1-on-3. And he's going to find the first.
Oh, yeah. Dumao knows this player's here as well. Art's toying with him, though. That utility denies the plant. Now that re-swing has given Dumao the 1v1. And with a second to spare, That bomb plant comes in just in the nick of time. Drop looking to deny the clutch, looking to put a stop to Dumao's reign of terror. But Dumao is piecing this one together as well. Playing it close, playing it tucked. Will this get checked? Drop on the angle and he locks it in.
It's just self-doubt, man. It's full self-doubt. Like, you know, you're scared he's long. You don't want to stay in one position for too many seconds and you could get walked on, but at a certain point, you just have to commit. That was a beautiful start for Dumao. That would have been the ace in a 1v3. 1v4, rather. Real shame to see him not believe right there at the very end and go for that swing. Drop was already clearing it. He was ready for the corner at least. And yeah, that hurts. 4 out of 5. Not today. FURIA on the board. GODSENT still have many more rifle rounds to show.
Oh, I like that. Dropping the Molotov at bottom banana on the T side to disrupt the deep smoke. Leaves a big old gap for Dumao to shoot through. And it puts a stop to FURIA, who have constantly been trying to take banana control.
Yeah, cool idea. Still bloomed weird though, right? And that molly delayed him. He would love to take banana quicker, but the smoke, while it did bloom wrong, it didn't put out all of the Molotov. Taco thinks he has mid for free after 2, but it's not enough. Still Yuri there, backs up to the bomb site. Double B set up for FURIA, drop yet to be seen. They're still going to make the read, run back down middle. Lots of space gained by Barton in the apartments. Lato's picked a smoke, and Barton's selling this one. He's going to try and get out of apps. Yuri had a great game in the pit right now. He's been one of the only players holding this A site together. Oh, there's another bomb loose, and he knows Barton's here. Will jump out. Now another clutch attempt here for GODSENT. Done a lot of damage, but if he tries to fall off, they've already wrapped round. Barton reads it. Art gone again in the 2-on-1, and Drop given another opportunity, another chance to lock in an anti-clutch.
Yeah, the clutch denier, right? Drop says, nah, mate, these big moments, these are just for me. It's getting that 1-on-4. This would be the second big clutch attempt that he will have stopped if he's able to do it, which he is. Drop, king of the anti-clutch, mate. Finds a second round for FURIA and keeps them in this one. GODSENT, you know, it's a little bit heartbreaking. It feels phenomenal when clutches go your way, and it feels really bittersweet when they don't. You know, you kind of acknowledge at the beginning, like, yeah, it shouldn't have been that close anyway. But you keep, you know, putting belief in your team, in your ability to get them over the line, and every time Drop is denying you.
Yeah, Art's got to be giving Drop, you know, his big pat on the back today. Not only did he let him die in the pistol, but that's now 2v1s that Art has died in without Drop by his side, and then Drop's closed it. Like, you kind of get why he makes those plays in both rounds. One was a 5-second bomb, or like an 8-second bomb plant after he mollied him on the bomb site, so you get why Art was swinging there. And even there on short, he knew he had Barton locked on Balcor pit, so he had the cross. If he got wider, maybe that's his round, but yeah, just very awkward when you realize, damn, I screwed that up, a 2-on-1, and if your teammate loses it, you feel solely responsible. It's fine though, FURIA trying to buy their way back in. It's expensive though. Art turns around and Drop saves him for a change. Gun out again, and Drop has done it once more. This guy is a beast on Inferno. It's what we saw in the playoff as well, and Art finally finds another. Gonna go full through the smoke, almost, but then calls it off. It was, which game was it that Drop dropped 30 on Inferno? It was against EG, right? Oh no, maybe it was Pain.
No, I think it was Pain, if I remember right.
Either way, bit of an Inferno player, and FURIA could do with that, with GODSENT having a nice T side. Already that gap is closing though, 2-on-5. And Yuri locking long out. Ooh! Not bad.
Oh, not another one of these, surely. Don't bring us another maybe clutch. 2-on-3, Phelps gets the bomb down. Now he is very, very low, but that re-smoke at Moto, you're hoping, gives him a little more room. Vinny not prepared to give room over, not in a giving mood today. He's more about taking. And this little boost up over the smoke that's being employed. Oh, they saw something drop, catches wind of Barton's reposition, and Art swings out of the apartments to put a stop to it. That boost, it might not get the kill, but it gets them the info that wins them the round and denies yet another clutch attempt to GODSENT.
Very scary rounds here. Phelps looking lights out. That's always reassuring, especially when we had, Keserato coming into this final, starting very strong. We need, the firepower players on the other side for GODSENT to be holding up, and Phelps won't be a round conversion though. That little lead for GODSENT they once had is getting drawn back the way of FURIA. Lots of, GODSENT can still be happy, not only because, they're still leading, but lots of close rounds. They're doing damage, they're getting bomb plants, they're making all of these very awkward rounds into winnable ones. Sucks to not be converting them, but it does enable rebuys consistently. Molly used, smoke on it. Oh, don't jump now. You might lose your head, and Dumao almost takes out Art. Drop still tucked close to the wall, gonna watch out for wall bangs. Lovely nade. They know he's close as well. He's going to get flashed through. Oh, the Fury away! But he can't find a second. It's going to be Art instead to pick up the pieces of the round, and Phelps knocks him down in a 3-on-3. Mollying, could have committed, expecting a third player potentially lobbing the flashes. So GODSENT are in no hurry.
Well, Vinny just probed middle. Didn't see anyone, didn't see a thing, and so the rotation's been called for towards B. They leave Vinny to anchor A, and with this utility starting to pour over the top of the B bomb site, you're feeling pretty safe in your decision to lean into this double hold. I say they're leaning into it, but they still don't look convinced. And this is because of that little moment just to go silent on GODSENT's side. It's kept, this rotation player all the way back in CT, and he's domed. He's knocked out. They're not ready for Keserato, but he's given us one. We need even more. Double molly, or a molly and a flash rather, keeps him high and dry at the back of the site. He can't see. He can't escape. There's no getting out of that one. Great way to just nullify the danger posed by that position and that man.
Yeah, Molly's one thing. It might have forced him out, though, and he could have got a quick headshot on the fadeaway and left this in a one-on-one. Instead, the flash means he doesn't even know he's burning and where he's burning. Vinny can burn out them, though. Bit of your own medicine. Doctor's orders. Peeks in the Molotov, and Barton gets crispy. Vinny with the 1v2, and he can't do it. This time, the clutch comes through for GODSENT as Taco locks in a round on that B-bomb site. GODSENT. That was all the work done down Banana by dropping Art in vain this time as they clutch their way into the B-bomb site. A very exciting game right now, though. These rounds so unsure of until they finally come in. Lots of man disadvantage conversions. Now a wacky buy for FURIA. Money's come at a cost. It's too much to bear. Orb surrounded by trash.
Still, the golden ticket has found that opener. Striking Barton from the tally early on. And is this going to be a fast B play in response to seeing that orb? It feels like it. Keserato, that's a lot of damage. But only one kill, and it might all be in vain if drop falls. Yuri tries to come through, and in doing so, this round should just be a save for FURIA. I can guarantee, if the roles were reversed, if that was GODSENT there, after Keserato gets the first, everyone's just tucking in, and you're playing the, 4-on-3 game out.
Yeah, Drop tried to leave, man. He whiffed his
shots.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Drop was not the problem, right? Like, and a part of me even understands where Yuri's coming from, right? Like, you're in the heat of the moment. You know that in, like, a 3-on-3, they can just not fight you, and you aren't really armed well enough to long that out. But it's such a shame because essentially it's like a dice roll on that peak, right? Yeah. It feels like GODSENT, it's all about minimizing the risk and really playing into that idea. Whereas FURIA are a team not afraid to take risks at the promise of big reward, right? If Yuri went through there and doubles up with the surprise factor on the MP9, suddenly you'd be going, oh, well, of course he does that. I mean, look at the results. It's one of these things where hindsight's 20/20, and I'm sure if Yuri was able to replay that moment, he probably wouldn't look to go through the smoke again.
I lights out pace for Phelps though, right? Just running it down and like, yeah, try to escape on confidence. He got a couple of shots off, missed them, backs out. By that point, Phelps is already around the corner and he realized too late. Nice explosive B round. So those have been the best rounds of GODSENT, right? The rounds where they get that B kill and they just don't stop and they just double down. And funnily enough, that's like the opposite of what we've been seeing out of this team, how they took down Liquid on this map. It was kind of the opposite. They let Liquid, sign their own death warrant in many of those moments. So
no, and this is something we've been giving GODSENT credit.
Oh, timing.
No.
Phelps is crispy right now. He's been greased up, Harry, and put in the fryer.
Dude, yeah. I love a grease-laden Phelps. Here's Yuri.
Oh.
He's going to get ruined by the Mach 10 rush, and that all is gone. Yeah, mate.
It's cursed. Don't pick it up.
Just don't even take it. Leave it. Pass the curse on to someone else.
Let's see if that comes back to bite Barton. That is the AWP, right? He didn't bring his own.
No, yeah, that is the AWP. He had the Mach 10.
Yeah, of course. Show and tell right now. Phelps is going through. Oh, he's hit the timing.
But no, man, yeah, something we've been giving GODSENT a lot of credit for is just the sheer amount of ideas and the kind of depth of the playbook. It feels like they always... And, considering, like, when we first saw this team kind of taking shape, and, we saw the performances from them back at CS Summit, the last NARMR, it looked like a team with promise. They were kind of in like an Oplano state where it was a team with promise, and that was exciting, but it was very unrefined. And where Oplano, now 0-0 Nation, haven't really refined that, and they fell very, very short, still looked kind of similar to how they did back there. GODSENT, they've harnessed that potential, and that's why they are such an exciting team right now to see and to watch. And the sheer depth of the playbook, man, it speaks volumes to how much effort guys like Taco must be putting in. They've always got new ideas. They've always got something new to show, and it makes them a very threatening team. Because as you say, this doesn't draw too many parallels to what we had in that Liquid game, where it was an entirely different look at a GODSENT.
And that worries me. You talk about potential, I think, even in this BO5 series, because you look at the veto in the top right there as well, and I think if GODSENT, this is their map pick, obviously FURIA beat Mirage pretty hard.
Yeah, the nuke pick is terrifying.
We see
right?
the GODSENT we saw on Nuke yesterday, running through smokes and hitting crazy timings against Liquid, and every round something new, going from out to fake smokes to A hits to ramp walks. Like, it was so hard to keep track of the pace of that T side for GODSENT, even for us. Like, I struggled, and we have X-Ray. So yeah, I'm a little worried for FURIA. I was surprised they didn't go in with like an ancient pick after how good they've looked on that map, but they might have been saving it. They might have hoped they could just run away with this in 3, but I think that'd be disingenuous. GODSENT right now are making a mockery of FURIA on this T side. And look at Phelps. He has been stopped. Finally, the gate's closed on this man. And maybe you need a round like that just to taper him off, right? He has been getting away with some audacious moves, has Phelps, so getting shut down by an AWP. That reroutes K-Serato. The fear of going into library and being timed on the archway smoke is there, and he's even going to walk into an AWP. He won't commit. You see what I mean? Scared of Arch. Tell and drop to watch out. Got to be careful. Flashed in. But the AWP has just left, and in fact, FURIA were pulling ARP back to way. He's now recommitted. He's still got a smoke to stop this B attack. GODSENT have to clear a lot of banana before they commit, so ARP will have ample warning to use his utility, and has even called for a bit of a rotate as well, drop bringing the molly. The AWP stays on Arch just in case this long take comes in. GODSENT have liked the lurk there. Dumal sells it, but it will be a full B commit with 30 seconds. Molly goes down, and a smoke is still available. Big if true.
Yeah, mate, that smoke is huge. They've now got to come to you through it. The flash is good, but no one's looking for Art. Oh, you don't often get away with this. He's dropping on them. Good for the double. Still, you managed to get that bomb down. You managed to get a plant. That's something here for GODSENT to hold on to. Barton through the smoke has removed another player. It is not done yet. GODSENT giving it all they've got to get this 2-on-4, now 2-on-3 over the line, but Barton's got to come up huge as he's left in the clutch.
This is a mental round, aren't they all? Another clutch, though. Surely FURIA are going to continue to collapse upon these. Drop is gone, but Barton has just begun. Time ticks. Gets tagged, gets a shot off, but it's the wall bang for Vinny to close that round through the coffins and locks in another retake for FURIA. Woo! It wasn't clean, it wasn't pretty, but Art does everything he needed to on top of that boost. The flashes, blinding him, blinding his opponents, and they never look up, man. Like a dog. Did you know? They can't do that.
They can't look up. Yeah. Or, well, they can, but...
Just lie on your back.
That's a quote from a film that Hugo's referencing there.
Which one? Which line and which film?
There's one film where he says dogs can't look up, and it's Hot Fuzz. Or
no, that is. I haven't seen that film for years. That wasn't what I was quoting. Well, I mean, technically it was, but... Yeah,
because that's wrong, because dogs can obviously look up.
Yeah, I knew that.
Or is it Shaun of the Dead? It might be Shaun of the Dead. One of them.
Yeah.
You know, very...
Or is it Paul? It could be
No, it's not Paul. It definitely isn't Paul. It's one of them. Here, you look a bit like Paul.
Thanks, man.
But like in a good way.
We go way back.
Because I'm like Nick Frost.
Yeah. And you like to get Simon pegged.
Okay.
He's a great actor.
He is a great actor. Now look at this drop.
Ooh,
dear. Out to the open. Forced to fight. Forced to take engagements he didn't want to take. And it was all by design for GODSENT. That's how they claim this 4-on-4. And with Art tagged up, the AWP having to take a bit more of a defensive angle over towards B. He's called for rotation. Serato joins him. It's a double AWP hold in at this B bomb site. Now, that's kind of all right if they come B. But if they go A, and your A players don't hold the line, you are saving through and through. Not just because double AWP in the retake isn't ideal, but because it's expensive, there's so much on the line. So Yuri has got to offer up some big numbers from the apartments.
He goes out, that's full send, and the smoke didn't even bloom either. It wasn't good for him, it dropped down off the cart. If Yuri just lives there, man, FURIA can play the round. They can go for a retake. I know he's in the hot water, but he had killed the lurker out apps. He could let them in. But he wanted more, and that could be FURIA's, you know, poisoning there. Never knowing when to quit. Yeah, I would love to see Yuri just hold off there, live a few more seconds, because then GODSENT can't even get comfortable and set up post plants. They're constantly worrying about when is Yuri going to strike.
But that's kind of his problem, is that, you know, he knows he has to come up huge. He knows he has to offer something for you to even be enticed in that retake, because it's like... If he's not swinging that, and if he's not applying that pressure, and they are able to get the bomb down, and you're left in a 3-on-3 retake where you know where the rifle is, and it's double AWP coming in, you're gonna... Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying, like, yeah, I fully support that, but, you know, it's something that Yuri feels comfortable doing. It's the kind of plays that this guy's known for. He tries to make a big Yuri moment happen, and unfortunately, when they do fall short, that's the outcome. You are left saving.
We've seen a few of those fall short already for Yuri, right? Like, there's the banana, also the CT smoke on B push, like... Yeah, these are, and that's a 3-on-3 retake. Like, that's not even one where you feel like, oh, if I don't make this play, we lose the round. Like, you're still in a very good position if you make that play. A nice molly again for Dumal. It's still followed up, though, with more utility from FURIA. That molly did go this time, but it's the second one from FURIA that keeps it weird. Even another down B. And Dumal's eating nades for dinner. Still going to commit, though. Got that top smoke in. Still wait on Art, but he can't wait forever. Smokes a molly, plays in front of it. Art always wants to find more chances to fire off this AWP early. Doesn't want to be relegated to the bomb site. Sometimes it's all you can do, though. Yuri's on the boost. He's on the roof. GODSENT. A nice slow default round. They know the winning here could set them up for a very dominant half indeed. If this wasn't already that.
Oh, they look like they want to go for the A play. Right, the bomb was going back to Banana. There was a second of doubt. And it still could, right? That's the advantage of having, you know, Phelps waiting around here and keeping this control. And yeah, it's going to do that. Going to look to link back up with Phelps outside of B. Now, Art has not shifted off this angle the entire damn round. He's actually peeking ahead of it. Oh, Art with the double.
Quick.
Looking for even more. They've got him backed into a corner, and that's the end of Art. The trades come in. Dumao and Barton do find a killer piece. Serato might be the early rotation, but he's the only man here. Can't stop that bomb plant, so the 2-on-3 has to play out. He's waiting for these rotations, but they are going to take a minute. Right, coming up through Banana, one man all the way back in CT. Time against FURIA, so they've got to be fast here. They still have the element of surprise on Yuri, and that flash gets Taco off the top of the boost. A little bit of damage in the 1-on-3. Taco trying to do what he can. First man dead. Oh, making a double. Taco trying to make the clutch happen. Just Queserato left to beat, and he can't get past him. It is a damn good try. It's another near clutch for GODSENT. But it's one that FURIA add to their tally. Oh,
it was so smooth for Taco. You felt it flowing, you felt it coming in, but GODSENT can't convert every clutch, it feels like. FURIA, a shutdown round from Queserato with a USP to close. And this shot from, this second one, it gets you feeling some sort of way. Even that double setup gets cleaned out super well by GODSENT, right? You have Art up close and they know he's locked in, but drop on the boost and he only gets one. Really good trade work for GODSENT to even get in B in the first place in what was initially a 3-on-5, but not converted yet again. FURIA keep the anti-clutch on.
So I feel like whenever I cast GODSENT, a lot of it is just me like showering Taco in love and appreciation. And I'm going to do that even more. So Taco, another thing that I do love about his calling, I think it's very, very common that whenever you get a player who wasn't an IGL, wasn't like in that leadership role, that oftentimes the kind of game plan that they first put together feels a bit one-dimensional in the pacing. And, you know, this even applies to like legends of the game. Guys like Nico had this for the longest time, right? The style that he used to call was very slow, like almost painfully slow at times, and there wasn't a lot of variation to pacing. Something that I think Taco has really nailed down with this team is the pacing that GODSENT play at. They will always keep you guessing. Like they're not afraid to throw in these slow rounds where they keep you doubting what's going on, but then occasionally they'll come at you thick and fast. Like for example, if they get these B picks, mate, I imagine they grab that bomb, they group up for the B play, and they look to move in. Now the smoke down does kind of put a bit of a seed of doubt in the way of that, but they're still grouping for it. They're moving that fourth player around. They spot Queserato here, but he's got to hold the line solo with the AWP. They smoke him out, and now they pick up the pace, charging through. Queserato can't find a thing, and it's another one of these retakes for FURIA.
They know they got B for free with that CT. Oh, the spam shot connects. No scope through the smoke, through the wall. It's put Lato low. Dumal sticks that plant instead. Re-smoke. Final bit of util going down. This is not a one round for FURIA, not yet, but the flash might get them there. Dumal gets into the smoke. He's still here. Queserato's waiting for a re-peek, and Vinny gets it instead. Lato low health. They don't know they tagged him, but they'll find out the easy way. Surely, no way in this 1v3. FURIA keep on shutting down rounds in the post plant. 6 up on the CT side, and the 8-7 is not unrealistic at this point. GODSENT have had a brilliant game. But with Phelps not finding these key openers in the last couple of rounds, we've seen FURIA start to... It feels like they start every round 5-on-4, 5-on-3. Even though the banana fight was 1 out, as the commit comes in, it's again FURIA favored. And yeah, they've been doing really well in the retakes as well, keeping them clean on the most part, especially in this B site. So GODSENT still going to be happy with this half, but don't let FURIA back in before the map's done.
Yeah, and this is like the heartbreaking nature of all those clutch denials, right? Like these are the moments where you find yourself saying, you know, it might not have felt like it mattered when we lost those first 1v3 attempts or the round after that, or, you know, the 2-on-4 bomb plant, but they start to add up, right? And they start to forge a nice scoreline for FURIA. Even though you've always kept this team close to being broken, they've never been pushed over that edge. Drop dead at B. This is another example of one of these pace changes out of GODSENT, right? It's fast, it's quick, explosive in towards the B bomb site. And so FURIA always kept guessing as to what hand they're going to get dealt by GODSENT. This is not looking conducive to a 7-8 half after all. Looks like GODSENT are going to run away with this one 9-6.
You can flash Vinny in for a little play here, but it would have to be play of the century right now. Too many top targets on the boxes waiting to swing, and Yuri, he does push one player off, but this is a great half from GODSENT. Butter it up however you like. It's not going to be toasty for FURIA. They're getting uncomfortable. Yuri's getting chased, and it's
a lot of aggression, a lot of kind of, you know, flat out disrespect plays back on Mirage. Are we going to get more of that out of their T side now, or have GODSENT risen to the occasion?
Oi.
Hello, we talk about aggression for FURIA. Never mind that, mate. GODSENT coming at you with a mid push.
They know the players are further down. Vinny considers it. They dink Taco. He gets out alive, but he's still willing to dip his toes in the ocean. Phelps has found the first. Re-peeking down Banana. FURIA trying to watch their back right now. This is so uncomfortable. And they do get another. Vinny caught in. Oh, now the flash into middle, but GODSENT have already relieved themselves of the duties in mid. They're going to pop back to the bomb site. FURIA smoked off at B, can't commit as Dumao drops that. And this is so awkward for FURIA. There's nowhere to go. But the B site, it's now getting reinforced with 3 men. Dumao can afford to give it up. Kid available if the plant goes down, but Taco looks to deny it as he boosts up over the top. Yuri drops him. Oh, the spam stops the bomb right through the corner of blue. Wallbang smoke shot, that'll do. It's Yuri in a 1v4, looking for the ace, and he's not going to get given any room to work with. GODSENT, that is a very obstructive pistol round. Just right down middle. We didn't even see those kind of rounds for FURIA in the first half. It's kind of expected. And maybe that's all the more reason to do it for GODSENT.
Yeah, man, I love how, like, already, you know, like, we're getting a look of what a GODSENT with, you know, a lot of confidence and who aren't afraid to get up in your face can look like. Are they ready for K-Serato? They might think this molly's done more than it has. Still gets checked, but K-Serato's P250 will deliver a double opener. And that is going to be the signal for Lato to get the hell out of there and just keep some form of presence up at this B bomb site. These P2s, they can be deadly. FURIA goes silent for now.
I know they didn't plant, but even getting FURIA to be ecoing rounds like this shows the tremendous amount of pressure that GODSENT are putting on this map. A team that would love to just buy Tech-9 armor and pop through your mid-smoke. FURIA with the full eco is still making this round worth considering. Yuri's been given the FAMAS. One flash, gonna arm Vinny with a little more health. K-Serato can set his team up for success. There's only one man in the site, but Barton not only stacked with util, but also in the pit, can just choose his fights very well. He should be able to lock this in solo. K-Serato gonna line up this flash very far back right now. Maybe checking Banana. 20 seconds, there's the spot. Barton doesn't need to rush the fight. The molly, they're already past it. Barton trying to stop that cross, and Taco helps out as well. It's only K-Serato, low health, and this round looks done. 10 seconds at least die before the timer expires, and so GODSENT do get rid of the eco after all. And now FURIA come in with their full buy.
Yeah, you know, going for a third round buy like this, the kind of nature of it, it doesn't leave you with many options in terms of fakery, right? You don't have the utility to throw any kind of, you know, grandiose strategy the way of GODSENT. You really do just have to rely on your firepower being bigger and better than theirs. And at least, you know, in the flat head-to-head comparison, all these AKs do outmatch the buy that GODSENT have, but is that going to be enough, right? This is like a real round of brains v brawn. GODSENT have got all the utility in the world, but lacking the firepower. That's not going to put a stop to them getting that opener. Lato secures it.
Who needs guns when you got nades? Little flash peek and a gun available. They won't go hunting. FURIA looking for a pick back in. Vinny's going to get tagged up fighting Boiler. It's the A1S chipping away.
Out in top middle, looking for the long swing. Ooh, it's scary. He smokes it off, and that's a CT wrap now opened up. Art is pressuring the B play. Dumao having a watch for it, and Lato, it's the two MP9s over here having a form together. Strength in numbers.
Oh, they're giving up B to try and get rid of the lurk. They're just going to focus on this backstab for Art that they know is coming in. And FURIA are focused on the bomb site right now. They won't be ready for this double setup. Art's making that contact now. Needs a kill, and he can't get it. Now they can focus in, deal with the offense here. They even have a Molotov to try and stop the bomb plot. It goes in perfect time. Vinny's low. This is a godsend. Look, this steal away around, and Vinny's been dropped through the smoke. The bomb plot will come in, but you have nothing else. No room as Lato goes through the smoke with 4 kills in the round. Godsend, they get it done with nothing. Their bonus round topples Furia's full buy. And 12-6. This one's slipping through the fingers, if I say so myself.
It's scary, man. Like, you know, as we say, there wasn't, oh my God, they're buying again. Okay.
Yeah, bomb plot, you know, yeah.
I hope that someone is willing to take the downgrade for, like, you know, just get Galil armor, just to have a little bit more staying power in the round. That's always my worry with going for these, like, kind of aggro purchases. You can sometimes just dig yourself a hole that you can never recover. For GODSENT, as mentioned, you know, their utility spiraling out of control. They made a lot of money. They win the bonus round versus the full AKs. They get free upgrades. They've got smokes. They've got Molotovs dropped over in CT spawn that can be picked up to put a stop to rushes. So there's a lot going right for GODSENT at this 12-6 scoreline. Trying to boost Art over the mid smoke. Doesn't work wonders. And you know what? Furia were always keen to fight for this banana control. GODSENT, far more respectful of it. You know, giving over this control early on.
Kazerato right there, what you're wondering what he's looking at, he's got a lineup for the coffin headshot angle. He lines up and he walks into the smoke and shoots. He was trying to do it, but he got smoke spammed. That would have been dirty. Lato just changed position though. Barton baiting them in on long, and Phelps can strike when the time is right. Art's yet to be seen. Phelps, oh, now he's needed. No one looks, and the spray. Oh, what a turn for Vinny. It's still a trade. None of this matters because it's a B play after all. The mid to B has not been doing work for Furia. The crunch has to. Dumal's blocked by his teammate who repeaks. I don't know about that one. Maybe they would have cleared it anyway. They saw he was cornered looking into the wall, but Lato just swinging into the same spray does no favors for GODSENT.
Yeah, this should just be a save unless one of these prongs can, like, come in and, you know, open up. Then you could have had a 2-prong retake, but instead...
Oh, just a knife.
Yeah, now you got the knife, mate, and you're out of there, Barton. Nice kill on the exit, but it's not anything more than that. And yeah, you know, that little situation over towards Dark, one that GODSENT probably just want to forget about. I'm not going to critique it too much because they saw the boost getting employed, right? Yeah. They knew both players were there. You were always going to be checked. They were always going to be watching you. Swinging immediately into the spray, that's maybe the questionable part, but I really do think that, like, the reality set in. They know we're here. We're stuck. We're stuck on each other. I'm actually making life harder for you by being here. So the first guy swings out, you try to immediately trade it, hoping you can just catch them with the element of surprise, and it doesn't work. But there was very few ways that could have gone well once the boost doesn't get a kill.
Yeah, could have looked better at least. And that's fine. GODSENT still have breathing room to build, close out their pick. Nuke is next, but even then, I was saying to you off air as well, I have fear for Furia on that map, so we'll have to see how things fare. I think this is very important.
Yeah.
Ooh, hold your thought. Hold your thought. It's a smoke walk. Art does not respect utility. And you better respect him because you're about to find out the hard way. Taco in the back of the bomb site, looking long, looking short, swapping left and right.
Bro, they're next to each other.
Art, hello? You just heard an A4 fire. He walks right past you. Art looks to double up, trying to find Taco in the site. First he deals with Barton. Now the trade feels inevitable and Taco does provide. 1v3 in the bomb site though. Vinny cuts off, rotates. You can even go B at this point. You have Kazerato and Banana, but they know Taco's here. They want to make use of that info while they've got it. Kazerato's left out on an island right now. Dumal's dropped Vinny. It's all very weird and wacky, and so they're
trying to take the bomb to B.
Thank goodness they trade it. It could have gone worse. Furia get out. But even then you're scared that Taco's re-peeking. Yuri has to go the long way round. What is this? What is going on? And it should just be fine. all the madness aside, K-Serato is here, but he's not re-peaking.
Oh my. Taco's now wrapping through middle, not giving them the rotation that they were hoping for. Now, Taco should just save, right? So it shouldn't matter. But there were ways where that could have gotten weird.
Kit right there. Whatever he does, he needs a kit, yeah. And AK as well. Dude, Art hears the A4 shooting to his left, and he doesn't do anything. He doesn't move. He doesn't think like, who? Does my team have an A4? Just walks right into him instead. Taco's scavenging right now. Easter egg hunt. He's got lots of goodies in his pockets. But it's still a Furia around. And oh, could this be the second coming of Furia, Harry? Do we believe in the long game?
You know, it's always... I don't know. I don't feel qualified to give the answer, if I'm being honest, mate. Like, because the thing about Furia, and like especially in a comeback like this, they do rely on like these kind of little X-factor moments to come through where like someone, like Art there with the double opener is a great example, right? Those are timings that only Art is capable of hitting. Yeah. But also they don't work all the time, right? It's like for every one great timing, there'll probably be 2 bad timings that he hits throughout the course of a couple of rounds, right? So Furia, it's very feeling dependent. And if they start to believe they can look dangerous, I'm also never ready to discount a GODSENT turnaround. You know, like this team has been able to rise from the ashes time and time again. Oh,
he's got it.
See, the M4's gone. K-Serato looked for it. He was like, nah, he's in the smoke, mate. He's pieced it all together. They know what's up, but they're still going to lean away from B now after spotting that weapon retrieval.
I love this call for GODSENT. Moving everyone back to A as well. Dumal's just been seen getting the gun like you said, and now Furia think, mate, we're walking into the site with USPs. We've dodged the rifle. No, it's here. It is locked out on long, but you still have these pistols who could start to make things spooky in the bomb site. The second pit player never going to get cleared either, surely. Do they jump on his head? No, they clear everyone out. Barton does surprise with one, but Dumal might want to save once more.
Starting to get this game a hell of a lot tighter, right? Considering it was 12-6, if you were GODSENT, you were constantly going like, don't worry, boys, we've got a lot of room between us and that tie game. Yep. Well, you can see how quickly that room shrinks down, and especially when you're on the CT side of a map like Inferno, very utility-focused. You need a lot of nades every purchase. You got to go all in with that. You know, even when that loss bonus is maxing out, you're struggling to get much done with these kind of, you know, quasi-buys where you're putting a bit in, but not everything. And so very, very quickly, when all the rounds are hitting like a 2-for-1, every round that Furia wins, you know, totaling your economy, that scoreline was never as far apart as it seems. Like, really, you know, you were 6 rounds apart, you were 3 rifle rounds apart. So, you know, when you look at it like that, it wasn't as wide a margin as GODSENT were hoping for. They were probably just saying to themselves, look, like, eventually we're going to get one of these rifle rounds back. We're going to start to regain some of that momentum. But if that time never comes, very, very quickly, things can turn sour. And with each round that passes, Furia are only getting more confident. And this is a team that play their best Counter-Strike when they're full faith, when they're full confidence. No! Phelps!
Joking.
Why with the quick switch?
That was his kill. It's a silent boost into apartments. They never knew, and Phelps thought, hey, mate, what if I just tapped QQ real quick? Nothing could possibly... And now, well, GODSENT, they do trade the kill and get out of apartments, but could have been so much better. Could have been so much more. And it's all Phelps is thinking about. Why has he done that?
Not the end of the world. At least Barton was there to trade it, right? At least it was the double app set up for GODSENT. Oh, a little pop flash into the apartments. Barton's going to clear this and call that he didn't see a thing. Up through the short side, it's fast, and they can't get past Taco at first. Now, down in the pit, Barton dead as well, and Drop has denied the B rotation. This is another save out of GODSENT, another round for FURIA. They're streaking them together. And I mean, this was, you know, rifle round 2 on your journey to the 3 promised rifle rounds that you were going to have. You've got another one before it's a tie game, but if that doesn't go your way, FURIA are right there.
Stop talking numbers, Harry. I'm getting nervous right now. And yeah, you know, you compare these T-side rounds as well. You know, GODSENT had a lot of clutches, like, you know, shut down by FURIA. Right now, these T rounds for FURIA, you know, when they're coming through, they're super one-sided. They're often, you know, 3 alive rounds. And so not only is that good for the money, but GODSENT have been, you know, calling saves. We didn't even really see saves out of FURIA's first half. Right now, things are getting weird. Up to 10 on the T side, and suddenly you don't have that breathing room if you're GODSENT. The ever-coming 3-0 of a grand final is never where you want to be, especially with more than enough opportunity to lock out this map. GODSENT feel it slipping away right now. Another icky-bicky buy. They've put in a rifle, but it's not going to be a full investment. Even then, this is a pretty desperate decision here for GODSENT. Need to see some CT orbs. Yet to really be on the plate in this half. Oof, that's a lovely nade. Bounces on the window, or on the doorway rather. Re-aggression from Phelps could be punished, careful. Even Spam might do it. Vinny is taking down Barton. Deep flash Phelps. He's up in front of it. He hears a reload, but he's got to turn back to deal with Vinny. Easy freebie, and he gets out with a 4-on-4 rather than dig the grave deeper by peeking into Yuri. Back at the site, there's a gun for Lato. And he's throwing his final B smoke out.
Ooh. Oh, man. Taco caught walking the apartments. And, you know, at this point, GODSENT kind of need to just make a gamble happen. They need to either all in A or B. That's probably what's going through their minds right now. They keep this double hold over towards the B site. I like the fact that they've stuck to their guns at least, right? They haven't, like, panic rotated over towards A after losing Taco on that push. And that means they do have the majority of players in the right place at the right time. Regardless, we're relying on Dumao and Lato to get away with a hell of a lot. They are essentially 2v4. There is no help from Phelps available, and the M4 already dead. Queserato spams Lato out. Never even saw him. And so that's the round for FURIA. 11-12 now. Yeah, this next round, that is the third rifle. That is it, right? The only chance you got to keep this from being a FURIA lead.
Yeah, sometimes when these games like close up, right, like this, we not only get the best buy out of GODSENT in terms of money out at that point because they've you know capped the loss bonus and you know, saving more and more guns every round, but then you know something switches in your head. For both teams, I think, like for FURIA, it's, oh my god, we're in this game finally, and for GODSENT, it's okay, don't throw. But yeah, still not seeing the CTAWPs that could be of huge value to GODSENT right now, especially with FURIA's early defaulting. Playing both sides, so they always come out on top. App setups have been pretty hot.
So that's what I was going to say. I do like how GODSENT approach the apartments. They're often double stacking it and are very willing to fight for this control. And oftentimes it's been to their benefit. The apartments haven't been a problem. Even if they lose Phelps on some weird timing, you know, like quick switching, they're able to find ways to equalize that out. Apps has been good, and it's not been a worrisome point for me for this GODSENT squad. Instead, it's as you get into those mid-rounds and you feel that pressure to go for info plays when you're in even odds bouts, you know, maybe that comes with Taco having a bit of a rough time getting the read on Art, and, you know, many IGLs have that problem. One of the only ones who can really, you know, read into, like, an Art game plan consistently is Stanislaw, right? Someone who's been able to keep up that kind of...
Yeah. Sure.
You know, that, what's the word? Rivalry between the two of them.
Oh.
Smoke war.
Looks likely. Flash and Phelps, he's got to care that they could already be out. He doesn't. Full faith. Goes back to the angle. On a wide one now. As the smoke fades, no one's holding this. He's just going to backstab, and a missed shot for Phelps. It goes nowhere. Shooting blanks. Art does die as he thinks he's catching Phelps running back. Instead, he was always on Arch the whole time. More missed shots for Phelps, and finally run down by Yuri, who jumps through the smoke. We want those B rotates, and we want them now. Dumao in the back line, and they just turn around at the right time. Yuri is now on an island. Taco's hunting him from that A site. The bomb is taking the space that Taco has just given up. And even if Yuri dies, which he doesn't, Furia have the bomb site. Molly, and it's so uncomfortable for Taco. Yuri's on for the ace right now. Sick round out of him. Finding kills that he really shouldn't be. And Lato's got to save. It's been the story of this CT side for GODSENT. This 12-6 comeback for Furia, now equalized.
Yeah, you are starting to get worried, aren't you? You're starting to get very concerned that this is the full turnaround for Furia. They've gotten it all the way to 12-12. And with another one of these, you know, partial investments around the M4 looming, and with them never really offering up any resistance to stop Furia, you're expecting a 13-12 scoreline before GODSENT have their next real chance to put a stop to this. Once more, like, if you don't win that, you know, if that round eludes you, it's probably Furia taking the victory. Because at that point, they would be 14-12 up. You'd be on another partial investment or a force buy. And at that point, you'd be force buy until the end of the game. And so this is what we say, like, especially CT side. If that ball never gets rolling, it only becomes more of a mammoth task to even, you know, get it shifted, get it moving.
Yeah. GODSENT pushed it all the way up the mountain, but up the hill, but then it just came clattering down and rolled over them. Cage of their own making. Vinny, entry onto Lato in the apartment. Again, this app setup gets corrupted early. Seemingly Furia getting the better of that. Even when it is trading 1-for-1. Furia have been popping A. Now they set up B, anti-flash for Vinny. Arts even here with the AWP, getting them on the T side before the CTs. Taco going to re-aggress. He's scared of that corner, but they're going to peek him from the other side, and Drop's got another entry into B, leaving Phelps on his own. Smoke goes down. They can respect it. Fury don't have to commit here.
Yeah,
there's no hurry.
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me if they go back as well. Like, this is now the third player you've seen trying to fight you at B. You might just start to say, oh, they've stacked it. Well, Furia, the one thing stopping them from going back is that they don't have any other map control, right? They all in banana from the get-go. And so for all you know, mid's taken, you've lost apartments, you know GODSENT have been pushing this a hell of a lot. You know, so that's probably running through your mind right now, and it might feel, in a weird way, safer to just commit to the B play. Instead of facing the unknown, you fight ahead, and you know there's danger ahead, but you're willing to beat them, look it in the eye, and overrun these pistols. That's exactly what they do. And it's 13 for Furia, baby.
Again, K-Strata just spams the smoke, and he, you know, tags that player on the boost, and then, you know, Drop hears the tag, and he just goes in, finishes the job. He's just pre-firing the common spot, and it's letting GODSENT down right now. That was the case against Liquid as well, when they did play Inferno. That boost position was far from perfect, but even so, they closed it out 16-14. Right now, Furia are looking to do it even more dominantly than that. Maybe the wrong word, but this T side has certainly been one-sided for Furia.
Yeah,
pistol and conversion ever since. It's all been Furia.
No, it's kind of mental. Like, between the first and second half, it's been an entirely different game.
Oh, that's the first AWP!
Hell of an opener, and yeah, Dumao finally gets his hands on one, and look what happens. And that's the worst thing. You're trying to replicate this, like, you know, you're almost like feigning confidence at this point, because you're trying to go back to feeling good and getting these openers and taking these fights that were working. Okay. And now you've at least turned it around. You've at least flipped the script back to your advantage.
Phelps has had the AWP before, right? He did have it on long, but for Dumao, typically the primary. That was his first shot at getting involved, and he just gets locked out. Phelps, he did manage to get a kill last time. One would be lovely, but he surely gets traded on the escape. Drops quick up close, and now there's one more man at B. Drops fighting a 1v1 for the round right now. If he dies, he's thrown it all up into the air for Vinny, and he's not even got the bomb as he walks in, trying to kill rotates that won't be needed. Taco jumps up, and he drops Vinny to win the round. And that's sometimes what it takes, right? FURIA, they pull this massive comeback, 7 rounds in a row. They finally level up, or take the lead rather, and GODSENT go, actually, I'm just going to win. You know, FURIA maybe get a little bit looser there as well, right? They you know, 2 players die, walking smokes. Even with the AWP opener getting dropped, GODSENT still managed to convert, and they keep it as well. Phelps is holding it. Maybe spawn base, but you never know. Dumao might just be offering it up at this point. Phelps is having a good game. FURIA call a pause, not getting ahead of themselves. This one is far from done. This is where it really heats up.
Yeah, you know, I think as well, FURIA maybe feeling like they started to get a bit ahead of themselves in that round there, and this is like a good time to reel that back in before it comes back to hurt you, right? You got the opener over at B, but then you had 2 separate 1v1s taken on either side of the map. Both of those fights go against you, and it puts you in a really rough spot, as we saw. So this is where they maybe look to dial it back in a little bit more. Oh, they hear the tag and the molly. They know the push is coming, but Dumao, knowing about it, that's one thing. Being ready for it is another. And KSERA are already at the tree, cuts down Phelps on the rotation. This AWP, it's a tag for Lato. He's done damage. And the nade for Barton knocks them both out. Oh my word, what a turnaround. What a turn. This was all coming up for FURIA. Then the tag through the smoke, compounded by the nade damage. It set up GODSENT for this retake after all. Yuri and Drop left alive, left in this one. Need to come in huge. 2-on-3, and Yuri dead to the banana wraparound. Drop has a lot to do. Time is ticking away for GODSENT. Drop with 1, and that's all he gets. But the bomb is far away. It's going to be close. I think they've just got it, but it's going to be close. And yeah, 14 on the board. GODSENT finally able to streak some rounds together. They're not pretty. They're not clean. But they are still finding them, and that's what counts.
Oh, that double nade, man. What on earth is this from Barton? The tag, without it, there's no way that double kills. That's only 1. And yeah, it's such an awkward retake again. Drops like out on an island. He swings. I think if he tucks, he probably wins a round, man. Just 1 second's difference. It's all it takes. That timer ticking in his favor, but GODSENT, they were probably ready to save right there in that 3-on-4, and then suddenly scales tipped and flipped. And GODSENT now 14 first. Still not done. Never is, never was, never will be until 16's taken. But that is a blinder of a round to lose. FURIA called a pause just to get that B pop perfect, and it was perfect. All the entries. Another pause going into this one. FURIA's final break called. No more stops now. GODSENT, was this all in vain? This little late game activation after FURIA pulled the comeback. They've got to keep it coming.
Oh, they've trapped Dumao at top B. They want to try and fight this one player while they've got him stuck out here all alone. They re-molly it, but it's responded to nicely by GODSENT. This trader utility has denied the game plan for FURIA. They were really hoping that by keeping Dumao there, that could have been how they got the opening kill. Instead, they've got to look elsewhere. It's back to the drawing board for FURIA.
Yeah, care these apps, right? We've seen a lot of setups. None right now. Leaning back in their bomb sites. It's only Phelps fighting for middle. He's had a very confident CT side. All things considered. Careful with the spam. He's safe initially and even shoots some pot shots through. FURIA go back and check B. No one's aggressing, so they will commit.
Yeah, if a motor smoke goes in, there would have only been Taco in the site, but instead, smoke push for Phelps, sees him fall early. Barton dead as well. It is a team kill in amongst the mix, but it doesn't matter. You've gotten all the openers, you've gotten all the entries, and FURIA are onto a 14th. GODSENT are left saving. And the heartbreaking thing is like this save is a necessity because these guns are some of the only guns you're going to have in this follow-up round. You're faced with a very awkward decision. Do you all in this? Do you throw it all down, right, to try and win with a less than ideal buy up against 14-14? Or do you put some faith in these saved rifles, see what they can do, and then try to play for the overtime? At worst, it's a very rough spot to be in. Absolutely. An enviable position.
No. And, you know, I like the last couple of pauses for FURIA. I really like the pace changes that have come about them. FURIA have been doing, in this T side, a lot of super slow defaulting into, you know, 20, 30 seconds pushes. And they've been, you know, conditioning GODSENT to save a lot of their utility until those final XX, like, you know, run one XX, then you go back in late. And in the last 2 rounds, right, FURIA, they take Banana and they immediately execute B, and a bunch of util is left up for GODSENT unused. This is the same one. They take B, they go back, they check their flank, and then they XK, and they have loads of time to spare. Nothing can go wrong in that sense. It also means GODSENT still have mollies and smokes available that they never get to use because they're expecting these slower late commits for FURIA. 14-14, what pace will be called now? GODSENT do not want to get involved. Look at the timid setup. You can barely blame them. Not fighting down Banana, back in their bomb sites. FURIA double nade, go methodical yet again in taking this top B.
Yeah, because of that double save and those players being able to drop rifles in, you've got a pretty decent buy up against this scoreline. It only gets worrisome if this one goes against you.
Yeah, like FURIA have the means to buy up both rounds. GODSENT have only got this one. So you've got to win it.
And then you got to win it again.
Easier said than done. But done it must. Ooh, that smoke goes flying on long. Quite the bounce on it.
Yeah, Yuri's back to his apartment's lurks. I almost wouldn't mind seeing him pull the trigger on this early in the round, right? Because a lot of time he's been left here to cut down rotations, which is all well and good if your team are able to get into B convincingly. But if that doesn't happen, you know, Yuri might be left in an undoable 1v whatever. Molly's now rained through the sky into this B site, but it hasn't really forced much of an adjustment out of GODSENT. They've got Dumao up on the boost. They deal with Lato back at the site, and they follow up onto the second man. Phelps trying to deny a bomb plant, trying to come through this smoke. Good for the first. Vinny is dead. It's left this round wide open. Yuri's flank is still a long way away, but in a sense, the longer it takes, the more impactful it can become. You're going to start to discount this. You're going to start to imagine that these 3 are in the site, and so Yuri pounces at the first opportunity. As they turn to try and deal with him, that's where the others collapse on CT. And so that's a wonderful usage out of Yuri. They leave him to the late round, this time with full faith in his teammates to get into B. And the fact that they do makes that lurk everything for FURIA.
That's the most important part. You put that well, right? There's ways that can go very, very wrong and look awkward for FURIA. But also, Dumao, man, I would love to see him tuck after that first kill. He makes it a 4-on-4, but he just swings. And you know that FURIA, who just triple mollied XX into B, have used all their utility, but he still goes right back out, and that gives the site away to FURIA. Even stalling for a few seconds, waiting for that CT rotate to lay up a flash. GODSENT were already in spawn. Phelps had pre-rotated B off the back of the first Molotov that went in. So a few more seconds and Dumao can get set up. Instead, he just goes in for fights. And like said, you know, GODSENT had to win it. They're calling their first pause at the map. They feel like they've been in control, but I think they definitely should have used some in that comeback for FURIA, because now it might just be too late.
Yeah, it's that dreaded situation that we talked about, you know, like you might have had this phenomenal 12-6 lead, felt like nothing could go wrong. It felt like even if you were hemorrhaging rounds, you still had the room to make up for it. Well, now you almost certainly don't. You don't have the money either. It's MP9s aplenty. It's 2 FAMASes to complement that, and only 1 kit in play. That's on Taco. That's going to be important come crunch time when that bomb goes down. So remember, it's Taco with the kit.
FURIA, pressure, it's not off, but it's alleviated. They know this isn't going to be the best buy, but that's when the weirdest things can happen. That's when these MP9s can get in your face. FURIA, again, is it the early commit? It looks like it. They're walking B. Smoke down on the wall, flashes in to give Drop this kill. And a frag would mean FURIA would just explode like that. Obliterate this bomb site and obliterate the map for GODSENT, who are once at a 12-6 lead. FURIA waits. No kill is gifted, but patience is a virtue, and Phelps isn't full of it. He does get tagged half. Might have a boost up, but come on, this boost is not been good.
Man, no, you've been spammed every time. You are actively, disincentivized from doing that boost. One of the only ways to keep a CT player in play.
GODSENT still have the mid control as well. A lot of times they've conceded, gone back into their safe setups. That's allowed these wraps B for FURIA, or even early rotate off of the Arch player. Dumal's going to do that again. That forces GODSENT to play passive. This is weird for FURIA. They're committing, but 2 are in A.
Or Drop gets the opener. Do they want to follow through now? Because they've been made aware of a second man with Dumal dead. Phelps, they saw his name on the kill feed, and they're going to see it again as they drop him out. Yuri here to cut down the rotations. And with only Taco left, it is the man with the kit, but a big 1-on-4 he's got to embark upon. They've taken CT away. They might as well have Banana as well. Taco doesn't know. He doesn't know anything. The whole map just shrouded in darkness as far as he's concerned. And the reality setting in that this one has slipped away from GODSENT, from a 12-6 lead to a full comeback for FURIA. Taco gonna do whatever he can, but as they let him up, one in the knife. He's gonna spam the body, and he doesn't care about winning the round anymore. He knows he can't. He just wants to rub it in that Art doesn't get